Madam Chair and committee members, I want to quibble a little bit with OLS, our title on this bill. You see, the title says that this bill creates a cause of action for detransitioners. That's close, but it's not exactly legally right. Under RSA 507E, New Hampshire already has a general cause of action for medical injury. This cause of action is open-ended. It can include any type of medical injury so long as the elements in 507E are met. Under our current law, there's actually nothing stopping a detransitioner from bringing a medical malpractice suit tomorrow. The problem is that because of this developing area, there's a great uncertainty about how medical injury statutes would apply in a suit by a detransitioner, especially with regards to the state's statute of limitations. The goal of this bill is not to create a fundamental new cause of action, but to give a greater clarity to both detransitioners and medical professionals. The secondary goal of this bill is to clarify under 345A, discriminating against someone for being a detransitioner is a form of gender identity discrimination. And I would argue that it is already the law under the Supreme Court decision in Bostick. But this bill modifies 345A and would make that explicit. I first want to distinguish this bill from other bills on the issue that we're seeing around the country. You might have heard that some states have used civil cause of action to enact, in effect, a total ban on medical transitioning. That is not this bill. Should this bill become law, a patient will not be automatically entitled to monetary award just because they have transitioned. They will still have to meet the regulatory elements or the regular elements of existing medical injury law in 507E. There will simply be less ambiguity about how the law is going to apply. Under RSA 508(4), New Hampshire uses that what is called discovery rule to determine when the statute of limitations starts to accrue in a medical malpractice action. Currently, you must sue for medical injury in New Hampshire within 3 years of when you discovered the injury. The problem is that in a detransitioner, it is not clear when the discovery happened. When detransitioner suits start to be filed in New Hampshire, and that will be brought whether this bill is passed or not, both parties will have to spend undue time and expenses litigating the issue when the discovery happened. This bill will resolve the question going forward. If you allege you were medically injured by transition, that 3-year timetable will start to tick when you begin to transition and no sooner than that. Detransition here means that you are receiving medical treatment to help you reverse some of the effects of medical transitioning. For example, a woman who starts taking estrogen to try to heal from the damage due to her vocal pitch from testosterone will be transitioning. Let me finally say something about the non-discrimination. In its decision in Boston versus Clayton County, the Supreme Court said that to determine whether there was discrimination because of some factor of court asked whether there would have been a different outcome if the factors were different. For example, if you fire a male employee for identifying as a woman, the court asks you whether you would have fired the employee if he identified as a man. If the answer is no, then you discriminated because of gender identity under RSA 354A. Now, if someone is discriminated against because they are detransitioner, this happened, which it has happened in New Hampshire. For example, last year, a New Hampshire Holiday Inn location was ordered by its corporate office to cancel a planned event when it learned that Chloe Cole, a detransitioner, was the speaker at that event. The Holiday Inn shut down Cole's event because while Cole used to identify as a man, she now identifies as a woman. If she pursued a claim under our laws, this should be a violation under 354A. That's because if Chloe Cole still identified as a man today, there would have been no so-called controversy, and she would have faced no discrimination. This example shows that discrimination because of someone's detransitioning simply is discrimination because of gender identity. While I believe this is a common sense application of our law, I hope it makes it explicitly clear in RSA 354A and will help unlawful discrimination in New Hampshire and encourage detransitioners to vindicate their rights, a full and equal member of our society under state law.